Hello, welcome to Coach's Corner. When you viewed the Guild vs. Guild introductory training, you heard about how much our guild needs each member of the guild, not just fighters, to help us defend our sectors of land on the Guild vs. Guild maps. Even for those who never want to fight a battle, your guild still needs your help to be successful. The first way to help is by contributing goods to the treasury. Having buildings that provide treasury goods can help greatly, and you can also donate goods to the treasury directly. The second way to help is by providing support pool. This is a special resource that strengthens the defense of our sectors, so it is harder for our enemies to take them from us. Support pool cannot be donated or collected. It is provided by simply having those buildings in your city. By placing or leveling up buildings that provide support pool, you are helping us protect our land. Notice that Observatory provides both treasury and support pool, which is why it is such an important building for the guild. The third way to help is by helping watch the maps anytime you are online, and especially during recalc, because that is the busiest time for guild versus guild and when attacks are most likely to occur. So here's an example of watching the maps. You start by going to the overview of Guild versus Guild, and you can see all of the various maps for the various ages. On these maps you can see green sectors, which are the sectors that are owned by our guild. If you then click on one of these maps, you then can see the more detailed view of that map. And you'll notice the few sectors that were green in the overview map are also shown as green on this map, both in the appearance of the sector and the green bar that shows its health. By looking at our sectors, you can find out if any of them are under attack. This is an example of one of our sectors under attack. Notice that the red bouncing ball has crossed swords on it. That is the symbol for a siege against us. Here's an example of a similar siege, but this one is black, not red. A black siege is not actually against us. Notice that the sector under attack is not one of our sectors. However, this sector is close to our sectors, so we are concerned that whoever is doing that attacking might have their eyes on us next. So whether you see a red siege or a black siege near our sectors, sound the alarm by sending a message to the guild. The fourth way to help is by supporting our fighters during recalc. Recalc is a very busy time for our fighters. To be successful, our fighters need what we call hybrid players to help with both offense and defense during recalc. Hybrid players can also help at any other time whenever our guild is attacking or needing to kill off enemy sieges. The role of the hybrid player is not about fighting battles, but they work side by side with our fighters in a crucial role to help us win and defend sectors. If you want to learn more and consider becoming a hybrid player, please take the training that we offer for hybrid players, and we will be glad to provide you with any additional training you need to be effective in this valuable role for the guild. One last way to help with Guild versus Guild is to place defense armies into our sectors when requested. This can be done any time of day, not just during recalc. Notice that this sector is green. That indicates that this is one of our sectors. The green bar provides an estimate of how much defense is in that sector. This is the menu that comes up when you click on the sector. When you select View Sector, the Army Management window for that sector pops up. Now you can see what armies are in the sector. Note that green is always for our guild and red is for other guilds. By clicking on the helmet with the crossed swords, you are viewing the siege army if there is one. Unfortunately, we cannot add defense armies while our sector is under siege. Our fighters would have to kill off the siege army first, then we could replace damaged armies and place additional defense armies. Clicking on the helmet with the shield ensures you are viewing the defense armies that are in the sector. This is what one of our sectors looks like under normal conditions when the sector is not being attacked by an enemy. A sector always has slots for up to 8 armies. In this example, this sector has some armies already placed. You can see that this army is damaged. Each time an enemy successfully defeats one of our defense armies, that army loses one of its 10 pips. If an army loses all 10 of its pips, it dies and is removed from the sector. If we lose all of our defense armies to an attacking guild, we will lose the sector to that other guild. This symbol means that this defense slot has not been unlocked, so we cannot fill that slot with a defense army. It costs treasury goods to unlock additional slots, so our leadership decides when and how many slots to open up. This symbol means that a new defense army can be added to the sector. To add a defense army, first you fill the selected army with 8 units. The units must be from the correct age. If you are visiting the contemporary era map, like this example, then the units to be donated must be contemporary era units. In fact, the Army Management window will be filtered to only show contemporary era units. Special units that have no age, such as rogues, drummers, or color guards, can also be used, but they tend to be weak for defense, so we avoid using those unless we have no choice. After the selected army is filled with all 8 units, notice that the slot turns orange. This means it is ready for your army to be donated. Click on the open slot, confirm that you want to donate the army, and voila! The army is donated into the defense slot. And now you can hover over that army and see there are your units in the slot. Some important things about adding defense armies. First, it is okay to use wounded units for a defense army. Those units will immediately become fully healed when placed in the sector. You will lose the 8 units that are placed into the defense army. You can get unattached units from guild expeditions and also collections of unattached units from the Great Building Alcatraz. One of the bonuses of our guild level is that Alcatraz does not take a full 24-hour day to collect. It's quite a bit faster if you can get online to collect from it when it's ready, so consider when and how many attached and unattached units you can donate each day to our sectors. A question that is often asked is, what units should I use for defense armies? This is an important question, since an army good for attacking is usually not as good for defense armies. Here are some basic unit selection principles for defense armies. First, mixed armies, that is, an army with a variety of unit types, are generally pretty good for defense. Avoid placing too many identical armies in the same sector. Instead, make attackers keep facing something different for each battle. Variety means the attacker will be facing a bad matchup sometimes, no matter what units they are using for their attack. Presenting our enemy with different defenses will either slow them down or make auto battle more expensive for them because they will lose more units. Next, rogues may be good for attack armies, but they are usually weak on defense. Human attackers can kill the normal units first. For ages industrial age and lower, there should be no more than 2 rogues per army. In progressive era and higher, there should usually be no rogues on defense. In higher ages, rogues cannot move fast enough so human players can actually ignore them and just kill off the normal units. Remember that the computer, not you, will be controlling the defense. Because of this, some units are weaker on defense than you would like, simply because the defense computer does not use them effectively. And finally, pay attention to what defenses are toughest in the age you are playing, so you can place those same tough defenses later. So these are the principles for placing strong defense armies. Under normal conditions, we want strong armies placed for all of our defenses. But there are exceptions. If our guild gets into a crisis where our leaders are asking for armies to be placed urgently, and you don't have the right kind of units for a strong army, stepping up to provide even a weak army is much better than leaving the defense slot empty. We have additional information in the guild forum to help you with Guild versus Guild. Our guild forum can only be viewed from a computer or from a browser such as Puffin that supports desktop mode. To view the guild forum, first select Global and then select Guild Forum. In this guild forum, we have a category dedicated to Guild versus Guild. Be sure to read all of these articles as they have information that will help you, such as what buildings to include in your city, what units are good for including in defense armies, and many other important topics. The Guild Forum also has a helpful guide category. These articles provide a wide variety of training to help you be more successful in the game. So there you have it. Whether you are a fighter, a hybrid, a farmer, or only play on mobile, you have an important role to play in Guild versus Guild. Be sure to use the Ask Coach thread for any questions you have from this training. This is Coach. Keep on forging.